Hello student, today again we are out here to discuss our standard 12 history. So in our today class we will discuss from part 1 of our history chapter 3, and the topic is kinships, caste and class. So I hope children you all know regarding the term caste and class. So what is kinship? The term kin determines the family relationship. So, kinship is basically a structure that has been followed under main person. So, kinship is most universal and basic of all human relationship, and it is based on ties of blood, marriage, and other social relationship. So, kinship determine our relation on the basis of lineage. Hope so you all understand the term kinship. Now, children, as we all know that a numbers of important changes has occurred in the economic and social and political life of India during the period from 600 BCE to 600 CE. The change that occurred had left a deep mark on the contemporary society. Now, historians had made use of textual tradition to understand the social history. Even in that text also it was been mentioned certain rules of social behavior. Some historian has described the text that is on the basis of the social situation and practices they saw and how they used to do their ritual practices. Whatever they saw, the historian they have commented on this text also. Now, but out here we will focus on the richest texts like Mahabharata, which is a popular epic having 1 lakh verse, and in this book Mahabharata we will get various social categories is also been mentioned, and the earlier society situation is also been described out here. Now, to compose the book Mahabharata, it has not been composed within a short period of time. To compose it, it has taken a period of about 1000 years, that is from 500 BC to 500 CE. The story of Mahabharata, as you all know, it is a story of the between the two cousins, that is Pandava and Kaurava. They were fighting among each other, and why they were fighting? They were fighting for the land and for the right to get the power in the throne. That was the reason these two cousins were fighting. So let's discuss the first topic of our chapter, the critical edition of Mahabharata. Okay, in 1919, Indian Sanskritist, that was V.A. Sudhankar, under his leadership, he organized a team of scholars, and he started the task of preparing a critical edition of Mahabharata. At first, V.A. Sudhankar, what he did is that whatever Sanskrit manuscript text was there, which was written in various language, what he did, he collected all the texts from different country. Now, how we worked upon it? When he, after collecting the text, one that was being composed of the Mahabharata, which was been done in various language, that means various language he collected from different country. After collecting that manuscript text, he compared the text of different version of Mahabharata, and when he was comparing, wherever he found the text to be appear similar or common, he picked that text, and those texts he selected and he separated it. Clear? In this way, he collected the text and published it in various several volumes, which was about 13,000 pages. Now, to complete this edition, it has taken 47 years. Why 47 years it has taken? As because what he did was that he collected the text written in various language, that is in different language. As we all know, it was of having 1 lakh verse. He compared that, so for that reason it has taken 47 years. Clear? Now, several common element was found in Sanskrit version of the story, and even evidence in manuscript was also collected from over subcontinent, that is from Kashmir and Nepal in the north, and Kerala and Tamil Nadu in the south, that is from north till south. Whatever manuscript Sanskrit text was there, that he was collected and he compared and he find out the evidence. And also historian got the evidence from the text. What evidence they got? How regional or area changes over centuries. That the information the historian got from the text. As in the text, it was mentioned how people used to stay earlier, how they used to survive, what changes occur, what was the development has taken place, how the development occur, about all that thing was been mentioned in detail in the text. Yeah. Now we will move on to kinship and marriage, many rules and varied practices. And so first we will start with finding about marriage. So as we all know, families were basically defined as relative, or in a technical term, if you will say it, families kin folk. That means in Hindi, parivar. Clear? So out there, the historians have noticed that all families was not similar. Why all family was not similar? What difference they found? The difference they found was, number one, number of member. That is, in family A, they are having 4 member, family B having 5 member, family C is having 8 member. So there was different numbers of member they found in a different family. Secondly, relationship with the one another was different. That means father, mother, brother, sister, grandfather, grandmother, father, mother, uncle, and so this type of relationship they found in different family. Now, as well as on the basis of that, third thing what they found was that activities was different. That is, family is performing different activity, family B is performing different activity, their ritual practice was different, family B ritual practice was different. So the activity was also been different in different family. That was the difference they found in the family. Often people who used to belong to the same family, they usually used to share the food and resources, they often used to live together, they used to work together, and even they used to perform the ritual activities together. That means the one who belong to the same family. Clear? Now, while family was seen in natural way, if you will see the family in natural way, that was based on blood relationship. That is, they used to define in a different way in societies, as they were being regarded as a cousin or belong from the same blood relationship, and while others do not regard them as a cousin. For example, father, mother, son and daughter is here. Now this father is having brother, that brother is having wife, having son and daughter. That son and daughter what we call brother and sister, that is cousin, brother and sister. So they are having bound in the ties of blood relationship, so they were being termed cousin in the society. But now about earlier society, with the help of texts we got a lot of information about the elites family. Clear? What are the elites family? About the ruling classes or about the upper classes, we got a lot of information that was been written in detail in the text. But regarding the ordinary people or the common people, we did not get a detailed information, as because about them much was not written in the text. Now next we will move on to the ideal of patrilineage. So what do you mean by the term patrilineage? Patrilineage means that belong to the descent of the father. That means that belong to the father side. For example, father's son, grandson, greater grandson, and so on. Clear? Now matrilineage, that belong to the mother's side. Now if we talk about Mahabharata, this story is based on patrilineage system. Yeah, in Mahabharata story, the story tell about the fighting between the two cousins, that is Kaurava and Pandavas. Now actually both the cousins belong from a same single ruling family. What was the ruling family? That was Kuru. That is, both were cousins were fighting for land and the power of the throne. Under patrilineage system, what we used to see is that son had got the right to claim upon the resources and throne after the father died. Clear? Because that belonged to the father side. Now we have seen that in the 6th century BC, the many ruling dynasty was there who was following the patrilineal system, and even there were various in practices, such as in case if father died, that throne belonged to the son. So in some cases we have seen that the fathers was not having son, so in that case the throne can't be left empty. So who will sit on that throne? The father brother used to hold the power of the throne. So, and in many cases we also have got that the relative, that is uncle, mama, they used to claim the throne, that we see in the 6th century BC. In some cases also we have seen that women, for example, as we have studied in chapter 2 regarding Prabhavati Gupta, that he had whole that is she had whole the power of land, being a daughter after marriage also, and she has granted the land to after marriage. So this pattern system, what we see, is not only unique in the ruling classes but could be seen at the ordinary class too, that is in the common class, common people also we will see this pattern system. After further the property belong to the son. Clear? So next, now rules of marriage. So regarding the rules of marriage, there are two system of marriage we will see, that is endogamy and other exogamy. So in endogamy, what do you mean by endogamy? That is if marriage done within kin, that means within the relative, if marriage is been done, it's called endogamy. And exogamy means marriage done outside the kin, that means not within the relative, outside the family. If marriage is done, that is exogamy. Clear? So endo means enter and exo means exit. Clear the term endogamy and exogamy? Now the young girl and woman who belong from the rich and the upper family, they are being taken carefully care, as because their parent did their marriage at the right time and with the right person. They are very conscious regarding their daughter. So the people during that time, they used to believe that Kanyadan, the gift of daughter in marriage, was regarded as an important religious duty of the father. Yeah. Again, we can see that there are three types of marriage. What was that? Monogamy, polygamy, polyandry. Now what do you mean by monogamy? Means a man having one wife. Polygamy, a man having several wives. Now what is polyandry? A woman having several husbands. For example, Draupadi having several husbands. Now from 500 BC, we found various Sanskrit texts regarding many marriage rules were collected from that text, which was known as Dharma Sutra, Dharma Shastra and Manusmriti. So this text has mentioned about 8 forms of marriage. Now of these 8 forms of marriage, the first 4 forms of marriage were considered as good. As why? As they were being arranged by their parents, of the either by the boys or the girl parents. They used to arrange the marriage. For that reason it was considered good. Now the remaining 4 was considered bad, as because they were not being arranged by the parents of the boys nor the girls. That is, in this case, the boys and girls, they used to love each other and they used to get married. For that reason they are doing marriage by themselves. For that reason this is called considered as a bad marriage. Now last form marriage, which was considered bad, was being practiced by those who did not accept the Brahman rules. Now that is, the Brahman, what they used to give its opinion was that regarding marriage was, they used to consider marriage as a universal validity, that if you are following the rules and instruction of Brahman, is so that you are on the path of dharma. That was used to be believed. Now what was the 8 forms of marriage? That is Brahma Viva, Deva Viva, Arsa Viva, Prajapati Viva, Gandharv Viva, Asur Viva and Paishas Viva, Rakshas Viva. These were the 8 forms of marriage. Yeah, now next we will move on to the Gotra rules for women. What was meant by Gotra? That rules for women. Now, so out here, what we will see, the Brahman used to practice has been classified. Brahman practice has been classified out here by people in terms of Gotra. That means whatever Brahman rules they used to say, whatever we are following the Brahman's rules, that is been classified in terms of Gotra, and each Gotra was named after Vedic tree. That means belong from the descent of Rishi. Clear? For example, this is A, B, C. These three are the Rishi. Now, under this Rishi A, there are the generation after generation is going on. B also same thing. C also same thing. Now, that means the one under whom the generation is going, this is the head, second son, their family and all. So what is the gotra of the Rishi A? That will be followed by his generation. Same thing for the B also, same thing for the C also. Yeah. Now, what was important to get married during that time was Gotra. Now, if you see during marriage, the kundli of both the boys and girls used to be seen, and if Gotra was found similar, then their marriage was not possible. Why? As because they used to be considered that they belong from the same king folk, that is, they were under the same family, that is, they are considered as brother and sister. For that reason, marriage was not possible. Now, in Brahma had made norms in the Dharma Sutra that if boys and girls belong to the same gotra, their marriage could not be done, and people were following these norms which was written in the Dharma Sutra. Now, if you will see in a scientific way, the scientific reason behind the reason that the same gotra should not be married is that it used to be believed that within human being some hereditary disease used to be there, and it will be within your family. Suppose if grandfather, great grandfather was having any disease, then it could be also within you or cannot be within you, might not you have that disease. So it was believed that if one gotra get married to the same gotra, then this disease will pass to the next generation. So that's why the same gotra was not marriage was not done in the same gotra. Clear? So during that time, father was having their duties to get their daughter marriage, and Kanyadan was the most important ritual they used to perform. Now, the father, they used to keep two things in mind. First, the daughter should get marriage at the right time. Second, they should not be in the same gotra. Now, there was two rules for the marriage. What was that? First one, women were accepted to give up their further gotra after marriage and to accept their husband gotra. This is number one. Second, member of the same gotra could not get marriage. Clear? Now, this Brahman rules is been followed or not. To know how they will know it, the Brahman rules been followed or not, they were knowing through the gotra name. That is, they used to see the name and they used to identify that yes, this were following and this is not following. But in somewhere exceptional cases, we will also see, as they used to say that yes, all is not believed that most of them did not believe that same gotra cannot get marriage. For example, we will get in Satavahana ruler who ruled Deccan and southern part around 2nd century BC to 2nd century, and it was also been found that Satavahana ruler, some Satavahan ruler were polyandry, that is a man with several wives. So Satavahana had achieved this name from the further, that was they achieved the name gotra from the further, that was Gotama and Vasishti. Now the queen who used to get marriage with Satavahana ruler, they were not changing the gotra, that is not accepting the husband gotra, as they used to have their further gotra with them, the women they were having the further gotra. So from here it is clear that this Satavahana ruler got married to the same gotra. As we talk of Brahman texts, it was mention of exogamy, that is, they should get married outside the family. So out here it was totally opposite. Endogamy, as you all know, that marriage within a kin group, that means within a relative. So this thing we will see out here now, and it was prevalent most in South India. Even Satavahana had also marriage evidence was there of Satavahana with Shakas who were considered as the outside classes. Clear? So next one we will move on to where woman or were mother important. So in early society, was the mother was having any importance in the early society? From my point of view, yes. Why? Satavahana ruler were identified as matronymic. That means they derived the name from mother side. Clear? So out here we have to see that during that time patronage system was also being followed. That is, after the death of father, the son only could get the right in the hold the throne or the property. But in spite of that, we will see that there was the mother was also been considered important. As the Satavahan ruler, they identify their name, they derive their name from the mother side. So as the title that derived from the mother side of Gotama for the male and Gotami for the female, Vasist for the male and Vasisti for the female. Clear? So today till this much. Thank you.